Anyway, my name is Maya Seaver. I graduated last year in 2022, and I played basketball and volleyball all through high school. I grew up in church, and I knew all the answers, and I was a pretty good kid. One day in 7th grade, I was in youth group, and I asked God to be a part of my life. I believe God created the world, and He sent His Son, Jesus, to die on the cross for my sin. I felt relieved, and everything was great for about 2 weeks, but I never started a real relationship with God. I didn't pray much or spend any time in my Bible, but I went to church every time the doors were open, and I went through the motions. I was what you would call a lukewarm Christian. I was more consumed with popularity and school drama than pursuing a relationship with the one who gave me real worth. In 2020, Lewis County High School Lady Panthers got new basketball coaches. I've played basketball since 5th grade intramurals, but junior year, I absolutely fell in love with basketball. It became my passion. All I wanted to do was be in the gym, and I got my wish. We had open gym at 6:30 a.m., and then we practiced during school, and then after school from 3 to 5:30 or 6. And then I would stay after and shoot some more until Coach basically kicked me out of the gym. I spent more time at school than I did at home. During basketball, I was taught commitment, discipline, mental toughness, dedication, and perfect effort. The definition of perfect effort is giving your full effort, not for your personal success, but for the success of your team. Jesus demonstrates this when He died for us on the cross. He didn't do that for Himself. He did that for every one of us, His team. One day at practice, I missed an easy layup, and I said, "Oh my God." And Coach stopped practice, and he said, "If we're going to call on God, we're going to do it for the right reasons. And missing a layup in practice is not a good enough reason." Many times I would hear something in practice, and then I would go to church and hear the same thing. God would use my church leaders and my coaches to repeat Himself throughout my life. One day it clicked for me, and a light bulb just went off in my mind. In life, God is our ultimate coach. And just like we have to be disciplined on the court, we have to be disciplined for the rest of our lives. Just like we have to be committed to following the process and breaking the press, we have to be committed to spending time with God. Mid-season, I was reading in 1 Corinthians 10, and verse 31 lit up. It says, "Whether you eat or drink, or whatever you do it all for the glory of God." And that verse really resonated with me. And before every game for the rest of my season, I would pray that scripture. From then on, I played for my team, my coach, and for the glory of God. We had a win or go home game, and needless to say, I was nervous. In my devotions that morning, I read Psalm 18:39. "For you equip me with the strength of the battle. You make those who rise against me sink under me." And that calmed my nerves and gave me so much peace. I knew then that all the open gyms and all the late night practices were the strength that God had equipped me with for that game that night. All that preparation led to confidence in my ability on the court. We won that game, and we went further than LCHS Lady Panthers have in 4 years. The day of graduation, I woke up with a lot of feeling of anxiety. My thoughts started to race about what I was going to do in the future and what I was going to do after high school. As much as I wanted to get my day started, I knew I needed to read my Bible. As soon as I started reading, my nerves completely calmed, and God gave me a peace that only He can give. Recently, I started cosmetology school, and I started getting a lot of doubts if this was where God wanted me. In my quiet time, I read Psalm 32:8. It says, "I will instruct you and teach you in the way that you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you." God knew I needed His reassuring guidance. I've had struggles going through school and throughout the years, but God has never failed to uplift my eyes back to focus on what really matters. He has changed all aspects of my life. He's made me a better daughter, employee, athlete, and friend. I'm far from perfect, but I definitely know someone who is. Thank you again for this opportunity to share my testimony.
Yeah.